First things first, I love this Mikal trade to Brooklyn because he has so much potential and so much talent that he now could put on display. Like doing things like this. He has the freedom to do so. He doesn't have CP3 next to him. He doesn't have D-Book next to him. He could just do whatever he needs to, and then he could be free to make those mistakes because they're not a competing team necessarily. They're more so of a developing team. Now let's break this play down right quick. He almost messed it up because he messed up the spacing, came to the middle right where Jimmy Butler and Bam are. Surprised neither one of them got it. All defensive first team level players. Then he gets it right back, and now we get to see Mikal's bag, what he really has in store. This is crazy right here, bro. Ben Simmons on the bench, bro. Bro, I'm going to make a whole video on Ben Simmons, or I'm going to talk about it on my stream. Go hit that link in the bio. But, hey, bro, Ben Simmons come off the bench, bro. The fall off is crazy. The fall off is crazy, bro. And I always like to make the comparison between Mikal, like most people do, between Mikal and Kawhi, like when Kawhi first got in the league. But I feel like his ceiling is higher than Kawhi's could be because he entered the league already as a 40% three-point shooter. And he's already all defensive first-team level player. So the amount of work he has to put in to reach that high level is not as much as Kawhi has to put in. It's just a matter of work until he will be able to reach that point. And now his mid-range. And I want to mention two things, man. Mikal's great at getting to his mid-range. One, that's what he's comfortable with off the dribble. But two, he still has layers to add to his game. He still has layers. Because now notice how he's getting covered. Look at the drop on Strus. Hezzy pull up easy right here. All this space, come on now. Easy Hezzy pull up. But he's still going to get to where he wants to go. He can add the Hezzy pull up to his game, but now if he adds the Hezzy pull up and has a mid-range too, deadly. Deadly. And he's still able to give you around 20 points a night. I'm telling you, his ceiling is really high. It's just a matter of work. Now this right here is why I like to say, and a lot of people like to say in general, just attack the big man's top foot because bigs can't move fast. They move slow. It's hard for them to change direction. The best thing you can do for a big man when they're guarding you is to go in one direction and not attack their top foot. And to not change your pace because their ability to be agile, move different directions laterally and whatnot, that's what's hardest for them to do at their weight and their speed, their size and whatnot. And so he literally just attacks his middle, gets low, gets to a spot, and literally Buddy 25 right there is just too slow. He had to open up. His reaction is just going to be a little late. Ben Simmons is a story for another day, but make sure you subscribe, like, and turn on notifications because we're dropping breakdowns daily. And these breakdowns coming live very soon, so go hit that link in the description. Go follow. Let's get right back to it. I may just talk about this on stream, so make sure you go follow, bro. We can have a whole discussion on this. I ain't gonna lie, that may have been a travel. Hey, I don't know what the rules are for travels nowadays, but I don't know. 1, 2, 3. I see travel. I don't know what he sees. I see travel. I don't know about him. I seen this off the rip. It just look weird. Adam Silver talking about they discipline their refs. I'm curious what they do. I'm legit curious what they do to their refs. Like I was saying to you before, he still has layers to add to his game. All great scorers, they always got a triple threat game. They always have a good face-up game. Mikal, boom, jab, step, shot. But he don't got it right now quite yet in his bag. But if he adds that in the summers and the off seasons, he slowly progresses. One summer he adds one thing, next summer he adds this, next summer he adds that. By a few years time, him and Cam Johnson could be a premier wing duo in the NBA. I'm gonna make another video about that too. Cam Johnson, Mikal. He has a shot making ability. We always seen his shot making ability. He's able to make shots. Now I want to see him be able to create shots. Not even just his own shots. Not even just his own shots from the mid range. His own shots from all areas. And then be able to create shots for his teammates as well. That's why I'm interested to see how Mikal develops in Brooklyn. Low-key Strus bailed him out. And also the thing about Mikal's mid-range is that it looks effortless because he uses little legs naturally like he does from 3, right? He uses little legs, but his wingspan, 7'1" at 6'6", he can just shoot that over the top. So he doesn't have to use as much legs as everybody else to even get over the top. And it's like how D'Lo shoots his mid-range. If you people when I talk about that, D'Lo uses very little legs on his mid-range. But there's really no in-between. You got to either use very little legs or you got to use a lot of legs on your mid-range. Mikal is a little late because it's natural to him. Now peep this lob. Coming back, transition. Made the switch. Martin slow on it. Throws it up to Claxton. Great pass. But now notice this right here. They're in the half court. Tries to throw this lob to Claxton. It's not going. The thing is, you can't try to run the same thing twice and think the team's not going to be able to adjust to it, especially the higher level you go up. Because last situation, there was a transition. Nobody was able to really communicate, weren't able to get in their positions. But now, same action. Martin makes sure he's sharp on this switch. Make sure he gets it, makes it hard for Claxton to be able to get this pass. But this is where Mikal could think the game ahead. Instead of saying, okay, let me try to throw this pass once again, he got the switch. Let me hit Cam Johnson in the corner. Claxton gets a post up, throws it down to him. 1 to 2 dribbles, Claxton could score on Martin right there. Just thinking the game ahead, and you know they're going to make the adjustments, but be ahead of their adjustments. But peep this. Midi. Air ball. He just threw a turnover and an air ball. A lot of players will see those two plays happen back to back, and then they'll start to get discouraged. They'll start to get discouraged, but it's all about how do you perceive all your misses and your mistakes. Do you see them as lessons? Because once you perceive them as lessons, they're going to turn into blessings, because as you learn from them, you're going to get better. But if you see them just straight up as, oh, you suck, they're mistakes, it's what defines you, it's who you are, then you're only going to get worse. You're only going to get worse. Once you're able to accept the fact that mistakes are what allows you to grow and get better, not even just basketball, but in life, all the things you do wrong, those is going to help you become a better person, a better player, better athlete, better brother. All this stuff, that's when you're going to begin to get better in all those aspects. But if you don't, you're always going to get balled up in certain situations, and you're never going to be able to do all the things you're trying to accomplish because you let those mistakes get to your head. And that's the difference between these big-time Premier League players. Now, let me tell you about this. This was a gamble of an offensive rebound because he came up from that baseline. And usually when you come up from that baseline, that shot goes long that way, you're going to be way behind the play, and so you're going to have to hustle even harder to get back. But Mikal was able to get that one. He's able to track it down and know the ball's about to come back to him. Hey, this is key. This is key when you get screens like this where somebody tries to jump it, especially like on flare screens. You got to get yourself out into space. Get yourself out into space. You see how he catches this ball right here, but he's still taking another step to continue to go left to make that distance that Martin has to recover back to him even longer. So now he has more time to get up into his shot. And these are shots he probably works on in the gym by himself all the time. So to get his rhythm right here, it's easy because look how he's balanced. It looks like he just got the ball straight off a catch and shoot. Being able to get your balance is so important, and I don't think enough players realize that when it comes to being able to shoot off the move and all this stuff. The only difference between players who are able to shoot off the catch and players who are able to shoot off the move is being able to find your balance. It's the only difference. Hey, this footwork right here off the catch. It's a great footwork to use because that split catch, notice. Right there, you could go off either pivot. You could rip right, you could rip left. You don't have an established pivot foot, so whatever foot you want, you could take it off the ground and rip whatever way you want. But the tricky thing about this is you got to get a lot of reps on this and a lot of perfect reps where you're not traveling. Because notice the referee right here. As soon as he catches, his eyes go to the feet. All refs do that. That's what thing they look for every single time you catch the ball. So if you mess up on this and you just try to do it in the game, you never practice it, you ain't getting enough good reps going either direction, jabbing going the other direction, whole bunch of counters to the move, you're probably going to mess up by the time you hit the game. But if you're able to get that move in your bag, then it can help you a lot, especially playing off the catch. And playing off the catch, everybody does it nowadays. The hell? This is how you know. Players in the league could do just about any and everything better than any and everybody else who's not at their level. Max Strus, you like, oh, he can shoot, we can't do nothing. Goes down the lane and dunks on Joe Harris. Now these are all athletes. It's Joe Harris, not no shot blocker, but he still dunked on him, regardless. Bro, I'm catching the commentators every time. Peep this. Listen.
Turns the corner and dunks it.
Listen.
Strus is loose.
Jit wildin', bro. Strus is loose. That the thing is that that's what first came to his mind as soon as he was like, oh my gosh, Max Strus. And then he decided to spit a bar and it said, Strus is loose. He thought he had some bars. He decided to say Strus is loose, bro. Pause, bro. Man, bro, Ben Simmons, bro. Such a good talent, but like his mental has been fried, bro. And boom, how are you not a right-handed player? How are you a left-handed player but able to make this pass right-handed? Like, bro, this is an on-target football pass full court. And you tell me he's left-handed? I don't believe it. Great shot by Bridges. He got right to his spots. Hey, bro. W trade for the Nets, bro. This is a W trade because I didn't know they got Michael Jordan. I didn't know they got Michael Jordan, bro. I didn't know they got Michael Jordan. That was a W trade. That was actually a finesse of a trade. Cam Johnson got a lot of potential, too. And this is even another layer Mikal's going to add to his game. I want to see how he uses it more going forward in the future. On a night-to-night basis, being consistent, taking advantage of mismatches. Taking advantage of the mismatch. Gabe Vincent tries to get this flop. Mikal don't seem like he really got a post game. He's just trying to really use his size, maybe bring some pressure on the defense, make a play for a teammate. But Vincent tries to sell that, gambles it. He had Duncan coming on the double or on the help. But if I'm Gabe Vincent, I may just try to body that straight up because Mikal don't really got no post moves quite yet. Notice Jimmy. Notice Jimmy. That's a great size up. I love to see. Now we get to really see what's in his bag. Now that he's in Brooklyn, he has freedom to do all the things that he couldn't do before. Because like I was saying, they're a competitive team. He can't do that on a night-to-night basis. He has to play his role. He can't make mistakes too much. Now notice how Jimmy reacts on each tween, each shift. Ooh, peep it. Boom, shift one. Jimmy drops that foot back. Goes again. Jimmy switches that stance again. Boom, hits another tween. This time he drifts it a little bit. And now he hits his go move. That's another third shift. It's about having pace and patience with your size ups. It's not always about trying to get there as quick as you can. It's about being able to get to where you want to on your own timing. The key is patience. Way to relocate. Way to relocate, man. Way to relocate. And what do you think about that celebration? What do you think about Mikal's little 3-point celebration? You think it's corny? Still, I know a lot of people hated when he was in Phoenix because there was a bunch of kids over there, but great way to relocate. And this is key. All players, anytime you give the ball up, relocate, get back to spacing. Fill out whatever spot is empty on the perimeter. Fill out whatever spot is empty. And the thing is, Steph and Klay do this each and every night and for the past their whole careers. And the thing about this, anybody could do it. Anybody could relocate. Anybody could be able to pass the ball and then get right back to where they need to. It's just about catching yourself and being aware of doing it. Actually being moving with some sort of urgency so that your team can be able to have opportunities. Now, Mikal was just a little late on the relocation. Notice how he stayed in the paint for a little bit. Usually you see a guy like, I was talking Steph and Klay, best at doing it. Give it up. Immediately as soon as they give it up, they get right back. But still good enough, got the job done. Able to get the open three. And as we see Mikal develop, I don't want to see him abandon his ability to still shoot off the spot up and whatnot and try to make the game harder for himself by doing things that he just wants to improve in rather than playing to what he's already naturally good at. Great curl, great read. You see somebody chase over the top, curl it. But the thing about this is he kind of gets a little too wide on that curl, but it still gets the job done like last play. It's just that there's room for error for the defense to be able to catch you slipping, be able to make a play on this. Because the angle, he comes up high, then he has to go back downhill a little bit. He came off a little tighter. If Claxton set a better screen as well, he'll be able to get a tighter angle and prevent Jimmy Butler from having any position at all. But Jimmy didn't get position, mind you. But I'm just saying, in future times, this is chances where there could be room for error, where he should get an easy look. Hey, they missed that call. Crazy. Look at the Heat bench. They heated. Hey, bro. Relocate, bro. Relocate. Even though they missed this call, even though Mikal knew damn well this should have been a charge. Instead of just laying on the ground and just standing right there in the paint, he gets right back out, gets to the corner, and gets himself an open look. Because at the end of the day, if they don't call it, It ain't no foul. They don't call it. It ain't happening in my eyes. You keep playing. You got to keep playing. They ain't blow the whistle. Just keep playing.
In those games. 103.96.
Way to get to the spot. Peep that bump, though. Peep the bump. Telling you, now we get to see Mikal's bag. And now that he's able to do it more in game, he's able to see where he's weak at. And so now that by the time he goes into the off season to see what he needs to work on, he knows what he needs to work on in terms of being able to create his own shot and become that shot creator. Whereas before, it was kind of like he doesn't even know what he needs to work on except for what he's doing within his role and what he's not good at. Now he's expanding his looks, expanding the things that what he has to do about basketball, approaching the offseason. And now he's like, okay, I was in this isolation situation. I was uncomfortable. And now I need to sharpen this up. I need to fix this. I need to add this first. Or now it's like, you know what I'm saying? He gets to add layers and see what he's not good at because he's actually doing the stuff in a game. And I'll do the same thing for yourself if you're a hooper. If you enter this offseason, I know the high school season finishing up. If not, it's already finished. Make sure you think back on what you did before. See what you did within your role. Sharpen those things up. Turn those weaknesses into strengths. Like I was saying about that bump. Going downhill, that's a legal bump. Chicken wing arm where you don't extend that arm out, but you kind of just nudge it out a little bit. That's a legal bump. A lot of players want to stick that arm all the way out. Offensive foul every time. They're always looking for it. And now this is the first time I see him do a hezzy pull-up. That's the first time. First time, at least I can remember, shoot a hezzy pull-up. Now, of course, there's some work on it, but the thing is, I wish I could see it like up close, so I could see how his hands pick the ball up, where his hand, like if his hands turn as he gets into a shot and whatnot, be able to fix those things up. But there's things I can't really see from the film. You have to see it up and close. But if you can add this to his bag, sharpen it up, finish a shot all the way through on the hezzy pull-up, that's another option and another way to get to his mid-range. Because they're going to guard up on the hezzy pull-up, you attack, they turn your shoulders, boom, one dribble, two dribble, pull-up, whatever it is, right into space. And right there, this is why being deep corner is so important. This is why being deep corner is so important. Because a lot of players want to come all the way high up here, want to be close to the ball, want to have a chance to get a handoff, but you're doing your teammates no justice because they don't have space. But if you're deep corner, look, notice the gap that he has to the rim. Straight up, because the help has to come out and has to come up, and actually to be in actual help position to close off those lanes. Because if Martin's just sitting right here on this block, that's no help. That's no man's land. That's no man's land right here. You ain't helping nothing. You're just staying off the ball. It's like you guarding nobody. So the help has to be in this position right here. So if there's situations where there's a drive and you in the deep corner, he cannot see you. This player right here cannot see you. So by the time they try to go back to think to where you are, they're already going to take a step out and think you're still in that corner. So by that time, you already gone downhill, and there's just no way they're able to make a play on that. And then boom, there's no help side on the side either. And if there is, boom, hit the other corner, get in rotation, make plays. But that's the end of this video. But make sure you subscribe, like, turn on notifications, because we drop breakdowns daily. Breakdowns coming live very soon. Go hit that link in the description. Go follow on. And we out of here.